सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति भेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रीविद्योपासनासक्तं श्रीविद्यापीठभूषणं श्रीविद्याभिनवं वन्दे कृष्णानन्दसद्गुरुम्। श्रीविद्यापाठं हरि ओम्। हरि ओम् हरि ओम्। In these verses of the Bhaja Govindam, we are looking now at the verses composed by the disciples of Bhagavan Shankara. So inspired and motivated they were, listening to what he came up with, looking at all Gurudev Chinmayananji would call it suicidal pursuits. Suicidal because he says, look at what people are running after, Recently I read a Zen master's quote. It said, everyone is running towards doom. They are in a bus which is taking them there, but what they are concerned is who's got what seat. They are fighting over the seats. The bus is anyway doomed. So when a Jnani looks at human beings this way, wasting their time and energy, because what he has seen and found in that wisdom, he feels that people are pursuing this illusion that they will get complete fulfillment and satisfaction from the things or objects of this world. What is this world? This world is Loka, our field of experience. And how is this experience possible? It is made possible through our senses, our mind, and our intellect. We know that the senses, the mind, and the intellect, because it is the senses that gives us the experience, of smell, of sight, of sound, of feeling, of touch, of taste, and all of this makes up for our experience. Then the mind is categorizing every of these sights and smells, and there is knowledge about all of this. And then craving begins there, desiring begins there, liking and disliking something starts. So the mind is involved in all of this. The intellect gathers a lot of knowledge about this entire world of experience. And it is so empowering that we think this is real. Actually, it's not. And we also know that this whole experience based on our senses, the senses which are not perfect, it could be a problem. There may be a lack in it, or it may be over functioning. We do not know. Its status changes from time to time, maybe from day to day also. The mind also this way, covered by moods and inclinations. So it's not always available in a particular way to gather this experience and to be able to record it or even recall it. So again, that is not of a clear, a perfect instrument. Then there is this intellect which gathers all the information and it creates a certain, knowledge pattern in the mind. We know the intellect also we make mistakes. Decisions are taken in a haste sometimes. Decisions are taken without proper information. Decisions are made without knowledge of the direction in which we are going. So very often all these are found to be faulty, first of all. So when these are found to be faulty and these are not permanent in their own ways, how can we call the experiences that we are going through to be perfect or permanent in any way? Isn't it? Some experience when I'm a 5-year-old leaves an impression on me. I may be told a story which is very deeply imprinted. At 15, I don't believe that story anymore. At 5, that there is a Santa Claus who will come and visit me on 25th. It sounds very exciting, romantic, and I'm waiting. I may not sleep that night. But at 15, I will say, why did my mother, oh, there is no Santa Claus, I don't know why my parents fooled me with the Santa, right? The same story holds no value now. So when even these experiences are found to be so different, what is the truth in it? So masters have seen this, known this, and have overcome this tendency to rely on the body, mind, and intellect to create or to bring about a state of happiness or joy for them. Instead, they looked for something that is changeless, that is permanent within them. And they realized, because they wanted to see what is giving this happiness. This happiness comes from within. When I've had an experience outside also, I'm happy. It's not that having eaten some kind of food, I'm not happy. Having gone through a certain experience with enjoying my relationship or enjoying the property that I hold, whatever that be. The enjoyment is there within. So the masters went seeking this enjoyment. Where is the source of this enjoyment? And they found out that that is our very nature. This nature, our self, is the fountainhead of bliss and happiness. Since we are not looking that way, we get lost in this world. So the master who has thus found the goal, he looks around and says, oh, alas, what are these human beings running after? And they take it to be so real. It's so unfortunate because here and now, in this body, in the human birth alone, is this tremendous state possible, the state of consciousness, this realization of the self can occur. And what are they involved? And it is just for this reason that they go around trying to wake people. They are so settled within themselves, they are so happy, they are reveling in that state. They do not want anything from the world. So they do not tell you, wake up to your state, because they have something to be benefited from. They have nothing to gain, yet so they are our true friends because they seek this for us for our sake. They seek this happiness for us so that we become like that, not for themselves. So here, Bhagavan Shankara, with his verses, literally, Bhaja Govindam is also called Moha Mudgara. We have seen that. Using this axe, trying to wake us up. Hey, get up. Don't be deluded. We shall see now. We will look at the 18th, the 19th, and the 22nd verse. I'm jumping two verses here, but we will be completing it. Okay. We will do the 20th and 21st also. I'm not going to omit it. Why I have taken the 18th, 19th, and 21st is more or less they are speaking of the same sentiment. The glory of such a person who has come to see this state. How does such a person, you can call him a Jivan Mukta, Jivan Mukta, he is Mukta, he is free from the bondage of this delusion that a jiva is the body or the mind or the intellect. That I consider myself to be this body, that I think I am this mind, that I think I am this intellect, binds me. I am not free until I am under its influence. So the one who has broken these chains and free from this is a Jivan Mukta. So here we have 18th, 19th, and 22nd verses speak of such a Jivan Mukta. We shall just take a look at this. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate, Suramandira Tarumula Nivasah, Shayyabhutalamajinam Vasah. Sarva Parigraha Bhoga Tyagah, Kasya Sukham Na Karoti Viragah. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate. Yogarato va bhogarato va sangarato va sangavihina. Yasya brahmani ramate chetam nandati nandati nandatyeva. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate. Pratyachar virajita kantah, punya punya vivarjita pantah. Yogi yoga niyojita chittah, ramate balo mattava deva. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate. the beauty of the state of one who has come to recognize the self, realize it, the self as who he is truly, his dharma. The nature of the self is that of Atman. And here, how does he remain? Because previously, Sri Hastamalkacharya has also mentioned about the ones who pretend to be, for the sake of filling their bellies, they wear these orange robes and dress up. Vesha, they have got Bahukrita Vesha, different Veshabhusha. But being very close to it also, they miss it. For they do not have this jnanam, they do not have the knowledge of the self. They pretend to be such. And what a plight! Because they have truly missed the essence. But here, the glory of such a person, a genuine seeker, a person who is an emperor now. Huh? Why? The one who has conquered his self, who's mastered his mind, is truly an emperor. This is what all masters say. So, how does this emperor live? He is free. Sura Mandira Taru Mula Nivasa. He could be dwelling where? In, in temples. Sura Mandira is temples under some trees. And his bed could be simply the ground. Sura Mandira Taru is trees. His Nivasa is there under that. His bed, Shayya, is Bhutalam, on the ground. Wearing Ajilam Vasaha, wearing deer skin, hardly anything he is using. There is no need for anything. For us, what happens? We say roti, kapra, makan, bare necessities for most humans. Here see all the three are simply written off. He is happy without this. For roti, what will he do? He will go around, look if there is any food, he will accept it. He will learn, he learns to live this way. There is no craving. Sarva parigraha bhoga tyaga. How does he live? Sarva parigraha, all possessions. What? Everything that we possess. This house, the property, everything else, that the furniture. See, when we have a house, it is not enough. We need a bed, we need so many other things. Everything comes with attachment, isn't it? He is free of all this. There is no thirst to enjoy this also. Therefore, sarva parigraha bhoga tyagaha. Why? Because he is kasya sukham na karoti viragaha. He is a virakta purusha, completely no attachment to these. Meaning, there is no attachment to things or possessions of this world. They do not give him any happiness. He has found happiness in his self. He has gone to the source of that very fountain and he is drinking from there. So wherever he is very well settled, very, very happy. Usually what happens, we people are always looking at settling, isn't it? Let me get the degree, then I will settle down. Let me get married, then I will settle down. Let me have children, I will settle down. Let my children settle down, then I will settle down. We are always talking of settling and little bit challenge or trigger into all that we have built up, as my world, little trouble towards that, it is very unsettling. Some challenges come to us, How are we? Unsettled, totally. All the time leaving. You remember the third verse where the Jiva is living like that drop of water in that petal all the time. Little bit of wind and that petal shakes. I don't know what's going to happen to us. We live in fear, all the time insecure. But how is this Jivan Mukta? Reveling in the self, unconcerned about anything, owning anything. Very well settled. So wherever he is very well settled. You will say, Arey, he has no wife, no house. How can he be settled? His mind is at rest, content with what he has. What a state that could be. Can we imagine? What are we looking at finally? In all our pursuits, what do we want? We want the state of peace, isn't it? Wherever we are, we want a state of security and peace. And where will we truly get it? We will get it only when we know that it lies within us. This divine state, anchoring there and settling there will only settle us, not anywhere else. So this, because no, he is completely, in fact, in the next verse we say, Yogaratova, Bhogaratova, Sangaratova, Sangavihinaha. Whether he is reveling in yoga and the shastras and everything, or even if he is seen to be enjoying food or whatever, whether he is in the company of people, Sangha, or Sangha Vihinaha, he is all alone by himself. In whichever situation you put him, he is absolutely in a state of bliss. Why? Yasya Brahmani Ramate Chittam. His mind, his intellect is reveling in his own self. So he has got that taste of that bliss, the nectar that is available within. It is like the musk, of the deer. The reindeer, at sometimes, during its lifetime, there is a beautiful smell of the musk from its navel that comes. And this reindeer can smell it. And it's so nice. The deer thinks it is coming from outside. So he starts running. He's chasing that smell. Where is it coming from? This direction? From that direction? Chasing that. He's going on chasing until he is very tired. Because body gets tired. He says, I can't chase it anymore. I'm going to just sit down in one place. And as he settles down, he sits under a comfortable, secure place, under a tree. He sits and he's still smelling. He says, oh, I didn't have to run anywhere. As I am able to get it. What does that mean? He has found it in himself. This is what we are all doing. Running after things, but not realizing that that happiness is coming from within us. So we just need to go to that fountain. And this person, this man of realization, he when he wishes to, when it is the call of the divine, for him to serve the world, be with the group of people, he will go. When he has to withdraw, he will simply withdraw. So he will be seen acting in the world. Sometimes he will be seen totally withdrawn from the world. Both ways, he is at complete peace and at rest. People may look at him and say different things because these are our projections. But he is at complete peace with himself. And it is said that, no rules apply to such a jivan. No we cannot apply dharmic rules on him. We cannot bring him under. Now, that doesn't mean he has his behavior is going to be this way, that it is going to be irresponsible. In fact, it is never like that. There are in the Upanishads also, it is told in Panchadashi, there is a commentary by Sri Vidyaranya, Swami Vidyaranya, where he says that, this Jivan Mukta, even if he kills somebody, that karma will not bind him. That is the state he is. Oh, so he can do anything? Is it like that? No, it is not like that. In the sense, we must understand this. Now, suppose there is a murderer, okay, somebody who has committed a murder, and he has been sent to, the court has listened to all the evidences and everything, and the highest court has said he needs to be hanged because he has conducted a very, this is a crime that is unpardonable. So he must be hanged till death. There is still one person, the president, in the case of our country, the president of our country can still overrule that. So he has one more appeal, this murder. And who has been bestowed upon that to allow, either to deny it or to allow, whichever way, is the president. Now the president, not everybody becomes the president, isn't it? Somebody on whom everyone has faith and who is capable of holding that position is made the president. So the president also has a lot of people under him who can guide him, that council of advisors who will tell him what is right and wrong, and then he takes a judgment. So like this, even when the judge is passing the order, he has certain powers under him which he will not misuse. It is given. A father, when his son is very young, he may not know the value of money and he may not be responsibly using the father's money. So until that responsibility has not come up, the father also will not hand over the responsibility of charge financial matters to the son until he sees that he is not responsible enough, isn't it? The Jivan Mukta is 100% responsible. Why? Because he has gone through the trials and tribulations of living as a Jiva. He knows where human beings make mistakes and where they need to be corrected. He has transcended all of this and attained to this state. He is very well aware. So he enjoys, and therefore, usually in the Eastern philosophies, where not only Hinduism, there Sikhism, Jainism, all of these Eastern, Taoism, let's take the Japanese and even the Chinese, Socrates, and you have Confucian philosophy, all of them. One thing they all know, they agree upon, is the state of realization of the self. And the one who has realized this, he is considered emperor. He is the ruler. It is considered that. There is no king otherwise. So if you know who you are, the self-knowledge you have, he is given a very, very high status in our land. Just as much in because this the 19th and as well as this 22nd verse, where Ratya, the road, Charapata, pieces of old cloth, Virachita, made of this Kantaha. Ratya Charapata Virachita Kantaha. He wears but a godadi, a shawl, stitched again and again, maybe, because he doesn't look for fancy clothes or anything. He is living on the road, who walks the path beyond punya and papa. You know, he has transcended this state of duality. You know, where there is duality, you will know of good, bad, right, wrong, like, dislike, pain, pleasure, insult, praise. The entire world experiences is made up of this polarities, opposites, dvandvas. So Bhagavan Krishna also tells Arjuna, nirdvandva bhava, you go beyond these polarities. The intellect creates these polarities. And in creation, there is polarity. The moment you talk of positive, it is already given birth to negative. The moment you say negative, there is something positive. So positivity depends on negativity for its existence. Negativity depends on positivity for its existence. Likewise, punya depends on papa. Papa depends on punya for its existence. And this is created in the intellect. A lot of knowledge will give you this. But wisdom is beyond this intellect. And the man of self-realization is a wise man. We call him a wise man, not a knowledgeable person. You can have knowledge of this world, but a wise man goes beyond the intellect, which is he has transcended. You know, Bhagavan Krishna also says, Sarva dharman parityajya. Dharma is what? Dharma and adharma, whatever we talk. No? Punya and papa. Punya, apunya, vivarjita. Devoid of both these two, he lives. In that state of samatvam. Shiva Loka. Shiva is beyond both polarities. And who is mind? Yogi yoga niyojita chittaha. He is completely joined in perfect yoga. He is a yogi. He ramate. He enjoys, he lives. He lives in the moment. Moment to moment to moment. Why? The past, the future belong to the mind. It is a flow of thought. It is an imagination. Every future thoughts of future is imagination, isn't it? And every thought of the past is what? Memory. Memory and imagination. How are we? We are always vacillating between this. Yesterday, what happened? 10 years ago, what happened? How I lived 20 years ago. Tomorrow, what will happen? 5 years later, what will happen? So from memory to imagination, imagination to memory. We are vacillating here, but never being in the presence of that divine, in the moment. Here and now, what is happening is missing us all the time, for we are engrossed in the mind. But the yogi, the perfect yogi, is here and now. So when, we see such a person who the past does not hold him, nor is he infatuated or carried away about future, because both past and future exist only as a thought. In reality, they have no presence. So he is gone beyond this. So for us all, we may consider him mad. There are many such masters. They are living in that moment. They are enjoying that moment. And when we look, and they are laughing at something that is happening right there. But we are missing that. Because in our mind, we are engrossed. We have this deep connection and attachment and reliance and dependability with our own mind. We are not present really. with consciousness. We are engaging with our own, we are obsessed with our mind. Whereas this Jivan Mukta is free of it. So he says, he lives like a child. You know, if you look at children, they are very spontaneous. When you live moment to moment, you are very spontaneous. Spontaneity comes up. How are they? Right now, the child is angry, he will throw a tantrum. He will say, he will meet his friends, he doesn't consider them friend nor enemies. They are in front of him. He is unhappy that he is not getting a chance to play. He will say, I'm not going to play with you anymore, and move away. So anger has come, he's moved away. After 5 minutes, anger has settled down. Then he realizes, I would enjoy playing anyway. So he goes back to his friends and he said, come, shall we play? And it's forgotten. And they've got together again and they've started playing. So how are they? Very spontaneous. They don't bring the past to the present moment. Right while playing, they are not thinking, what will happen tomorrow? Tomorrow, you think we will all come together and play? What if we don't get to play tomorrow? Unfortunately, grown-ups begin to teach them this very soon in life. And because we want to make them responsible, we are carrying the burden of the entire world on our shoulders. They should become responsible like us. In other words, they should also learn how to cry. This is what we teach them. They are enjoying the moment, but we, in our state, we want them to grow up soon. This child is living spontaneous, just expressing what comes. So the realized master also lives in that. He is not bogged down by his mind. Huh? This is the way, and what freedom comes. Just living, enjoying. What have we got? We all have a short life, isn't it? We all agree on this. 80, 90, 100. Huh? We all come together. We don't know how many of us are going to meet and continuously keep meeting this. We are like travelers. We have arrived on this Mother Earth. We have come on planet Earth. We are all meeting and we are all going to go when it is time for us to leave. In the short while, look at what confusion we create in this world. Because everyone thinks I am the body, I am the mind, I am the intellect. And this ego, attachment to these, creates all this war in the world. So the only true revolution happens when we begin to question this and recognize our true self. Then we can enjoy the time travel in planet Earth. We will enjoy these experiences. The senses are there, the sense objects are there, the mind is there, the intellect is there. You can simply enjoy every moment and leave the body when the time has come. Your destination has arrived. You may alight now, ready to leave because you have had a fantastic time, fulfilled time. But when our destination comes, we are not ready to leave because unfulfilled desires are there in the mind. Revenge is there in the mind. Hatred is there in the mind. Anger is there. They have not been released, holding so much burden and baggage. How can we alight when the destination comes? But this true jnani is ready to leave. He is at peace, whether in the body or outside of the body. It is like he has gone in through the body, engaged in this beautiful show of the world that Bhagavan has created. Ishvara has created this world. He has enjoyed it, completely detached from it, creating no impressions for himself, leaves when needs to. Beauty. So you see, these three verses speak of the glory of such a person who has come to recognize this self and who is living in utterly rejoicing in his self. So we did 18th, 19th, and 22nd. Now we'll go to the 20th verse because there is a beautiful link. We, all the masters are speaking of this beautiful state. We want to go there. We also want to know. We are also on the path. So how do we do that? Is very well given in the 20th verse. Bhagavad Gita Kinchidhagita Ganga Jalalav Kanika Pita Sakradapi Yena Murari Samarcha Kriyate Tasya Yamena na Charcha Bhaja Govindam Bhaja Govindam Govindam Bhaja Mudamate Bhaja Govindam, for this sake, pursue that Brahmagyan, pursue this Atmagyan. That should be the goal, that should be the direction. How do we do it? You know, Bhagavad Gita, one who has studied the Bhagavad Gita, even a little, kinchitapi, take one verse a day. Don't have to do all the 18 chapters together. Huh? Or he says, Ganga Maya, drop of Ganga water, Ganga Jala, Lava Kanika Pita, having sipped Ganga Jala. And at least once, you have worshipped whom? Lord Murari, Krishna Bhagwan. If you have done this, then he says to that one, Hare, this kriyate tasya yama charcha nahi karega. Yama is Yamaraj, death. Death will not come to this discussion we were looking at, no? The one who is a jnani is ready to leave, no discussion. But the one who has not, he is always scared of death, isn't it? When will death come? Before death come, I want to do all this. And death is something we all fear. Somebody was telling me, no, I don't fear my death at all. And I'm okay. I know this health is always a problem. My life has been just about okay. So I don't mind living. Okay, you are not afraid of your own death. What if your husband had to die? What if your daughter has to? I can't take that. See, death is not only just our leaving this body. Whenever some relationship comes to an end, whenever there is change, what is there is not available for me for further experience. That also makes me very insecure and fearful. So he says here that this, which are the ways? Study of Gita, Ganga baptism, as Gurudev Chinmayananda would call it, and worship of Murari. These are three ways. See, we must understand this. The Bhagavad Gita is completely Yoga Shastra, talks about how to conduct oneself. It's a manual of how to live and reach our goal. Goal and destination is given to us. How to reach there, how to come to realize the self, and while we realize how to conduct, because it's given by none other than Bhagavan himself. Bhagavan Krishna, who is such an embodiment of that truth, the divine incarnation. Living that life speaks to us about how it should be done. So more and more as we read, little by little by little, we must hear of it from somebody who has studied a tradition. not read it. It's very because one thing, there are thousands of commentaries on the Bhagavad Gita. Anybody who has understood even a little bit tries to write something about it. But do not be uh, misled by these commentaries. You must hear of it from a Shrotriya Brahmanishta. Ideally, Shrotriya who has learned it under a traditional param. It should be paramparik. It should be a parampara. That is how you understand the Bhagavad Gita, or it is a Shastra. And what do we mean when we say a sip of Ganga Jal? This heavenly Ganga, which is Akasha, it is transcended all intellect. This Jnana Ganga, this Bhakti Ganga, this wisdom beyond the intellect. We spoke of this. The Jnani lives in that wisdom. This wisdom, it is said that Ganga was brought to earth by the efforts of King Bhagirath, isn't it? That's why Ganga is also known as Bhagirath. Brought by the efforts of Bhagirath and emerging into the wisdom that descended on Mother Earth the beings on earth would not have been able to take that energy. So it had to flow through none other than Shiva's head. And from Shiva's head, it comes down to us. This way, we could benefit from that Ganga. The eternal tapasvi is Lord Shiva in Kailasha. He is holding Mother Ganga, and the stream of Ganga is reaching us. Otherwise, we won't be able to take her force. We won't be able to understand this knowledge. So, Mother Ganga, a sip of that can wash away. Wash away our sins, it is said, isn't it? What is washing away our sins? All this attachment, like, all the dirt that sticks to the pipes in the water finally clogs it. Then you need to use drain X and all of that to clear the water, and then the flow is. Likewise, energy in us also. And this divine force within us doesn't get a release, a vent. Why? Because of all our attachment to the non-essentials. That is why Chinmayananda calls it suicidal pursuits. All of this mud in the form of attachments create anger, hatred in our minds. And we only regret. We are only full of guilt and doubt. To purify our minds of all this and to lead us towards the divine is what we call taking a Ganga Snan. So this way, this Bhakti Ganga, this Jnana Ganga has to flow through us. And we must seek this Ganga Snan. And he says, worship of that Krishna, Murari. Krishna is known as Murari, but it is also known that Mura is the ego. And one who has subdued his ego. If you meet such a sadhu, if you meet such a jnani, worship him who has overcome. And this is the mystical death, what we call. When you overcome and kill your own enemy. If there is an enemy, if anybody has an enemy, it is his ego. Other than the ego, there is nobody who is creating this suffering. So if you are able to overpower this ego, then you will come to this divine state. So it is considered that the jnanis have died in the sense that the ego has been killed. How do we recognize and know each other? Huh? We relate to each other also with the body, the mind, and the intellect, isn't it? But a jnani doesn't connect you that way. A jnani connects when we say namaste. I bow down to the being in you. The being in you is the same as the being in. So he looks at the being and not the instrument, not the outer equipment. The body, the mind, the intellect can have, is always imperfect. It is never perfect. And the soul has no imperfection. So he looks at the soul. So why does he look at the soul? Because in himself there is no ego. He doesn't see the ego in it. This way, this ego has been overpowered. Worship of this Lord Krishna helps us. You know, there is a beautiful metaphor that Gurudev uses when he describes this. It is like a ship, when it is looking to anchor, come into the harbor actually. Huh? It cannot simply sail and come through into the harbor. It is waiting in the waters. It sends radio signals. It sends radio signals, and the receiving port, what do they do when they receive the signals? They send a pilot ship to go to that ship and bring that ship into the harbor. This way it is done. So here, Chinmayananji would say, this, we must do this while we are sailing. We understand that we must go to this harbor. When we go to the harbor, the final call, it is like we have to send this radio signals. Hey Bhagavan, hey Krishna, hey Murari, Pahimam, Trahimam. We send radio signals to Bhagavan. Bhagavan will send that pilot ship, because there was once question, can I, if I simply pray to God, I am told that I should have a guru. Without guru and this jnana, I will not have any moksha. So just praying to my God, will it work? It will definitely work, because the God will take over. Whoever is your Ishtha will send you this pilot ship. Guru will come to take you along and pull you to that shore. If there is the guru you have and you don't have Govinda in front of you, because some people say, I do not believe in God, but I would rather follow a guru who has attained to this state. Then that guru will take you by his hand and give you that Divya Darshanam of God. Whichever way it will work. But it is for us to send out these radio signals and receive. So this radio signal is nothing. Kirtan, bhajan, our yatras, all of what this effort we must to purify ourselves and go and harbor ourselves. Hmm? So this way, very beautifully, he has said, Acha, now if you don't do this, there is a very famous, this popular verse, the 21st shloka here, and we sing it also very well, because MS Amma has beautifully given such raga to it. When we are singing it, we enjoy, Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam. Ah, so nice to hear. But what is this sthiti that she is talking about? What is the sthiti that Munis are talking about? Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudamate, Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam. पुनरपि जननी जठरे शयनम् इह संसारे बहुदुस्तारे कृपया पारे पाहि मुरारे भज गोविन्दम् भज गोविन्दम् Govindam Bhaja Govindam. If we miss this, huh? We have postponed satsangs, we have postponed study of the scriptures, we have postponed all Tirath Yatras. Why? We are very busy with mundane matters. We work ourselves into this, thinking this way, because the world thinks this way. And you're doing the right thing according to the people in the world. But the people in the world are not the jnanis. This we must be able to come to. The jnani, how does he live? He is also part of this world only. How is he living? Wherever he is in that utterly blissful state. Whether with company, no company. Whether in the road or he has a bed. He's happy. Whatever food that comes, he is happy. He is not dependent. His happiness is not dependent on any other thing of the world. And he is of this world. He lives in this world, enjoying himself. Who doesn't want this state? If we do not see what happens then, this coming and going, which means I will be born again only to keep going through this life of struggle and misery, and I will consider myself dead again. Death is only for the body, mind, and intellect. The intellect and the mind die often, many a times within this lifetime. The body goes through a lot of changes in one lifetime. Death is only for these. Death is not for me who am eternal. But I do not understand. So what happens? The ego that is attached to the body, mind, and intellect, this subtle body leaves the body full of impressions, desires, vasanas, imprints in it, again takes another body to go through all the experiences, to experience all these unfulfilled desires. And again, not rooted in truth or seeking the truth, it collects further vasanas, collects further, creates further karma phalas for itself, and constantly engaging in the body and mind, leaves that body only to take another body. So this transmigration of coming and going, all the time coming and going, and facing these turbulations and strifes in this loka, in this world. So he says, Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Janani Jatare Shayanam, lying in the mother's womb, and we do not know which yoni we will be born, which womb we will be born in. So what all we have to go through again and again and again. This process, this samsara, is very difficult to cross over. Therefore, it can happen, he says, only to Kripaya, through thy infinite kindness. Kindness of whom? Pahi Murare, save, O Murari, the destroyer of Mura. The enemy, the Asura, who was called Mura. This Mura is also interpreted as the ego. Bhagavan Krishna overcame this Asura. So we say, O Murari. One of his names is Murari, the enemy of this ego, this Asura. When we are completely overtaken, overpowered by our ego, we become Asuras. Understand? There is no Asura outside of us. This ego seeks sense gratification, mind gratification, seeks to gratify its own ideas. And they are all temporary, built upon finite beliefs and limited ideas. So creating for itself lot of misery in the way. If we can overcome this ego, destroy this ego, we will come to realize true happiness lies there, not in what the ego considers as happiness. If we realize ourselves, that is the depth. In fact, the more and more closer we come to realizing the self, the attachment to the not self, anatma vastu, begins to diminish. So this is the whole process of spiritual journey. We must begin to lose attachment, become dispassionate towards the non-essentials, and pay more attention, focus on the essential. This way, with the help of Bhagavan Krishna, our beloved Govinda, we can overcome this samsara. This is what is spoken of in the 21st verse. So, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudamate. Coming to recognize this divine self within us, overpowering the ego which is nothing but a personality created, which is attached to the body, mind, and intellect. And this personality is mythical in nature, it is illusory, it has no permanency nor reality. It is experienced, but it is not there. This is the magical quality of the ego. We must learn to cut this ego. That is why Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam. So, with these thoughts, let us absorb, let us reflect on the ideas presented by these great masters. Let us soak in them. And with Bhagavan Shankara's grace and compassion, and with Bhagavan Krishna's blessings, we all come to see the truth of what is being said in these verses. Today, we shall conclude the session here. We will meet again soon. पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति 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 हरि ओम्